Hello, welcome back to my tea house. For today's cup of tea, we'll be taking a closer look at one of the games that two of you in the community played at the recent pre-release event. Now, before we get into that, I first have to say thank you and give a shout out to Cardware TCG for sponsoring me as a Union Arena player, and I can't wait to represent them at Orlando this year. If you guys are interested in buying any cases, some new card sleeves, please use Lullaby 10 for 10% off on your next purchase. Now, getting into it, this is something that I kind of want to start doing more of when I go to pre-release events and I see a bunch of the community members there. I want to be able to record the final matches or one of the games that you guys play in, take it back home, and then just rip it to shreds, like tear your gameplay apart in front of everybody in the community. We're going to put you on the spotlight. But all jokes aside, it was super exciting seeing a lot more people turn up this time around at the pre-release event, and a lot of you showing love, showing support, letting me know that you watch the content. And it's also cool to hear how you guys digest the content as well. A lot of you tell me that you just put it up on the background because, you know, the voice is soothing, it's a vibe, you got the music, and you just listen and go on about your day. And that really makes me happy to hear that. So getting into it, one of the things that I want to point out for everyone else in the community to take note when watching the gameplay is pay attention to the left side, the left player's board state, and pay attention to how often he forgets to rotate up on the board, and then in comparison pay attention to the right side opponent and see how frequently he's rotating up his attackers and keeping that onslaught, that aggression up and forward. With this time around in the first pre-release, it was all about getting your 4K bodies out. For this pre-release, it's all about getting your 3,000, 3,500 BPs out on board and getting that wall stabilized. And if you have the energy or you can, dropping a 4K, and that normally gives you a little edge above the others. There's a lot more removal in this game, so being aware on how to properly use the removal, when to use it, the conditions to use it is very, very important. And on top of that, I was finding myself doing a lot of combos, surprisingly, with Megumi. And this is something I want you guys to pay attention to as well. With the Megumi special card, I think it's 10,000 Shadows, you are able to play a 3 energy, 1 AP Shikigami to the field rested. Now, if you have Megumi on board, that card comes in active. Now, the left player at one point played this card and he had a Megumi on field, and I don't know if he didn't read the card properly or if he just forgot, but the card could have been active, and he also should have pushed up another character around that time. I think I was sitting there, I was like, bro, if you would have rotated one up and then also activated the Shikigami, you could have matched that tempo. And I honestly think if the left side player fixed a lot of the mistakes he did, he might have taken the game. Like, honestly, I think you would have taken the game, bro. I told you I was gonna come here, tear you to shreds, and that's exactly what I'm doing. So the right side player, I'm pretty sure his name is Zeus. Forgive me if I'm not pronouncing it right, if I got the wrong name. I'm just trying to remember. But he played a reverse red technique, which forces the opponent to have one of their players push back, and if the energy line is filled, they have to remove a card. Now, homeboy on the left ended up removing one of his double energies, which ended up mana screwing him later on when he could have removed the little fucker, bro, the thing that taps and does minus 1,000. Bro, T-Mac, if you're watching this, please drop the deck profile on Geto. That deck is so annoying, but you play it, you pilot it so well, and the people need to see what you have been doing to both me and Cosmic, the abuse that you have been doing. Anyways, short little tangent. He ends up removing, I think it is Mekumaru, who is a double energy. He was generating 6 energy. He removed it. Now he's only generating, he was generating 7. Now he's only generating 5 because he has a little fucker. And I guess he wanted to keep it to minus 1,000, one of the opponent's characters later on, when in actuality, that doesn't really do anything for you. What you should have done in that turn was remove the little fucker, and kept the other 3, and then pushed up the Gojo that turn anyways, or the next turn it was pushed up the Gojo. That way you still had a 3500 body that could attack and continue to put on that pressure in onslaught. But that being said, I think there were a couple mistakes on the other side, but I was just too focused on the left. I'm sorry, bro. You took the short end of the stick this time around. So without further ado, I want you guys to leave comments, your thoughts on what they could have done different, what you think they did correctly on both sides, because we got to give boys some love as well. In the comments below, share your thoughts and opinions, and let's get into the mix. Now, getting into it, after they decide who's going first and who's going to start out the butt whooping, we see the left player starts very strong with a 0-drop Megumi. This Megumi is going to be important, ladies and gentlemen. I need you to focus on this Megumi, all right? Now, transferring over, the right player, very simple, very standard, as you know. They're going to get their energy line started with their own Megumi and their own Ichi. See the left is going to play the Takeda, bounce back the Megumi, and then they are going to follow it up with a Mekumaru, another card that will be a decisive factor in this game, ladies and gentlemen, and non-binaries. Now, transferring back over to the right player, continuing to establish that line, they're going to play a Maki in the back. They are now generating 3 energy, potential 4, and now they're probably looking to set up a blocker in the front line. That way they don't get any early damage, because when it comes to this format, you want to flood your enemy as quick as possible. We see the Kamo drop to the front at 3000 BP, and such an annoying ability, bro. When this card attacks, it can neg 1000 to opponent's target character, and it comes in clutch during this format. Honestly, probably one of the most problematic cards I had to deal with. Now, the left side is going to be taking some time here, deciding on whether or not to push something forward or probably take the extra draw. I mean, both Mekumaru and Takeda aren't really strong, so pushing it up to get a attack in isn't really the right move here. You're just going to want to go ahead, continue to establish your energy line, and then play your own body in front to either block or be a wall, right? So we see him drop the Satoru Gojo, generating 6 energy now, and then we see the Jogo dropped early, a 4k body, very strong, very strong start with the Junpei as a chum block to also get a draw in after they block. Very great start, honestly, with the left side, very strong. The Jogo can still be dropped down 1000 by the Kamo on the other side. Sorry if I'm pronouncing these names wrong. Get me in the comments. You guys know where I'm at. So it doesn't really help as much as a blocker because he can still get around it. We see the right side deciding whether or not to drop the special early on the 4k body. We're seeing some restraint there. Did he take the extra draw? Yeah, deciding on whether or not, yep, takes the extra draw, and then draws into the red purple technique, I'm pretty sure, which will come in clutch later on throughout this gameplay. So now we're going to probably establish, probably moving something up, right, to probably moving the Maki up to continue to get some damage in if need be, and then also establishing the energy line and the front line. So we see him tap the AP. He plays his very own Jogo to the front. He deals minus 1000 to the baby body. That way he can no longer chum block, and then also gets a draw on the behalf on the left side. And then on top of that, when he attacks now with the Kamo, he'll be able to still get around the block. He's going to domain expansion. He's going wide this turn, ladies and gentlemen. Very wide. We see him tap down the AP. That's right. Hold on to that special, bro. You don't hold. Show some restraint. You ain't got to do it now. You have the tempo. We see Megumi coming down. He's going to have to look at the top 5 for a Shikigami. Bro, when I tell you guys, Megumi kind of slays in this format. I'm I'm not gonna lie, like I was pulling a lot of Shikigamis whenever I was searching for them. The special was doing me justice. It was a fun time. But sadly, I'm pretty sure does he find nothing? Yeah, he finds nothing that he wants. Bottom decks it, and then continues to play another body in the front just as another blocker and potential attacker next turn. Don't do it, bro. Don't do it. You see him deciding on to do the reverse red technique, and honestly, it's a little too early to do that in my opinion. Just play the body. Don't play the special. Really getting in his head about this. Really sidetracked. I hope when you're watching this back, you see as well. See, shows the restraint. That's what we need sometimes. Minus his 1000. You don't need to waste your special on this card because you can still get around this blocker. He's not going to block the 4K. Takes the early damage, and we see that he's on the board. He gets a draw trigger, and you see the domain expansion go into his hand, so he can also go wide if he wants to. Now, we're going back to the other side. Now, here, I would have pushed up he takes the extra draw. He has plenty of bodies in his hand. I would have moved up the Gojo and kept the other two in the back, because honestly, in this format, you only really need 4 energy to really do what it is that you need to do. What you want to do is be able to uphold that pressure, uphold that tempo, and right now you're putting yourself behind. You see him throw out the domain expansion, so now he's back to his regular ways, but right here, bro, just push up to get the extra body. You see the Megami come down. Now he's going to play, there it is, the 10 shadows. He gets to draw. He's on fire here, bro, on fire. He plays the Great Serpent to the front, a great 3K body, and honestly, the mistake that he has here is not activating it. He plays the Sotodo Gojo to the front now and swings for 4. The Serpent is alive and ready, and he can honestly be swinging for 2 damage here, and adding that pressure. And 2BH, he could have pushed up the Gojo and swung for 3 potential damage here, and then just saved the 4-1 Gojo for later. I don't even know if he needed to take the extra draw personally, but it is what it is. I just want you guys to take note of that, and I want you guys to see how this moment and the lapse of judgment here kind of plays into the slowed down spiral. Right now, we go back to the other side, deciding on what he wants to do. He understands now that he needs to match the tempo. His opponent has a full board, some big bodies, honestly, a 4K, a 3K, and then I think a 3500 in the Gojo, and then he has a chump blocker with the Megami if he wants. But honestly, in this format, I would keep the Megami because there's a lot of great plays that you can pull off, honestly, in this format with Megami. We see him move the Maki up on the right side to have an additional attacker, and then he plays the 4-2 Nanami to the front, opting out of milling the top 7 of his deck to get the additional draw 3. I am against milling in this format because sometimes you can mill some of your big bodies, but at the same time, being able to draw 3 in this situation might help as well. It'll give you more options. We see him thinking on the special. He's seeing it. Very smart to play the Nanami, get that 4K body out, and then also remove a body on the front. So we see that he's going to target the Jogo, bottom deck it, and he gets that threat out of the way instantly, and now he's on equal terms. He can swing for 3 damage there. He can minus 1000 on the Gojo so it doesn't block. So now it's a 2500, and now the other cards I think can also threaten still a little bit. So we see him take the chum block. I think he could have just taken 1 life there since he's guaranteed to take 1, and see if it's an active trigger or anything like that. We see him take the damage right there. It is a raid trigger. We see the Toto getting at it, and then the other cards block out. Let's see. So now going back to our friend, we see that he has another special. He has another special in hand, And if that Megami, if he doesn't take the chump block there, he's able to play one of the other, I think, does he have another one in there? He might not, which might be why. But it could help him turn the tides later on, right? So we see him take the extra draw there. He moves up the Gojo finally. I think it's a turn late on moving the Gojo up. We see him play the Sensei in the back. I wasn't paying attention, my bad. And then we see him drop the Toto to the front, another 4K body to help protect himself a little bit against the damage. Takes the swing, gets the draw. We see the block come out. Wait. Oh yeah, 35. I thought I thought he swung with Toto. See the Great Serpent swing, takes the damage, no trigger, and then he swings with the Gojo, and he decides to take the damage as well. The right side showing some great restraint because now he's going to return the pressure on his turn, and he knows that he has another removal in hand. I think he has does he have Boogie Woogie? I know he has the reverse red technique, but there'd be no point in playing that right now because the backline isn't full. So we see him, he's probably going to take another extra draw here. Yeah, when I think about it, watching this a second time, I honestly think that Megami, he should have never taken that block with the Megami and just gone down to 4 life. Because I think he has another like Shikigami in hand, and he would have been in such a better position at this point in time. Now, one thing about these pre-release events, right? Everyone is new to the set, so it is a learning curve for some of the players. They're having to read their cards, having to understand what it is that they can do. So sometimes it takes a little bit extra time on some of these turns. So remember to be patient against your opponents and be sympathetic, empathetic, and understanding that they might not be as addicted to this game as you are. You know, you want to show them some love and grace, that way they can catch the bug bite as well and really get infatuated with this game. So we see the right player finally come up with a decision. Just going in on Twin. He goes ahead and plays the Megami in the back. I forgot the when played effect for Megami. I think it's a -1k. No, it's not. I can't remember, but he goes ahead and swings with the Nanami, guarantee the damage. We see the Jogo come out with the get trigger, and then we see the opponent. What is she gonna do? Yeah, swing with that, and minus the Toto. You know you want to do it. Yep, -1k on the Toto. There we go. There we go. So now you're gonna block with the Serpent. And then we see him block with the Jogo, and then they pass turn. Now that Maki has been there so long on the right side's turn, he's waiting for the perfect time to throw that chump block out there, but he wants as much defense as possible when the time is needed. Now we see the left side again. Once again, I would have just moved. Well, I guess it's a tap to do it, but we see him play that. We see the Jogo come out on the board, so now he's going to have 2 4K bodies, and then we see the Ember Insects come out. And honestly, if you're gonna play that removal, play the Jogo in the back, right? You move up the teacher, that way now you at least have a guaranteed damage coming in. He's gonna boost the Gojo, that way it gains another 1,000. But honestly here, he's probably gonna take the damage anyways. He's gonna take at least 1 guarantee, but you can apply that pressure by having the 4th body swinging and make him possibly block out 2 here, right? But instead he's going to take the damage. He gets a get trigger, and then we see him take the next damage as well. I'm pretty sure he swings, decides here, and he takes it. Now it's a special trigger, sadly, so the last body does not get to swing. But once again, or well, actually, I guess he decides to pop the Toto, and then he swings with the last body, and he's gonna block out here, and he can block it easily with this, right? So if you move the teacher up instead there, I feel like you get an extra swing out of it and possibly a block. I don't know how much the teacher is in terms of defense. So maybe I'm wrong on it. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. Let me know your guys' thoughts. But I don't know. I feel like swinging with 4 there might have been the better answer. Now we see him. He's been holding onto this card the whole entire time, and his time has come, right? I think he just drew into a shrine right there. Yeah, it looks to be a shrine. He has a couple special triggers in hand, deciding on what it is he wants to do. Looking at the trash, he's like, oh, that's right, I did play one. I think he drew into another Nanami special. So we see him again promote. There we go, promotes the Megumi. And then he is going to drop another body in the backline, right? Does he even have any more bodies? Honestly, part of me feels like he could have gone for game here because he has the Boogie Woogie in hand as well, right? So we see him finally play the reverse red technique now that the conditions are set up. Pushes the 4K body back. And right here, when you put your opponent into a situation that makes him have to make a bad decision, you know you're doing the right thing. So he has 2 cards that are generating double energy and 2 cards that are generating 1 energy. He goes ahead and sacks the Mekumaru. I don't know why. I'm curious to know why. So if you are watching the video, please leave a comment below. What was your decision between that? But honestly, I would have sacked the little fucker, the neg 1000, because you want to be able to buff one of your cards, right? Plus 1000. We see him play the White Wolf in the back, one of my recent favorite cards. And we see him start swinging out. He negs that 1000, so now if it does block, it's guaranteed to die for one of the smaller bodies. He goes ahead, takes the damage. We see it. No trigger. Maki, best 2-drop in the game. We see him swing with the Megumi. It's now or never. He takes it. And one thing I want to say too is, we see the draw trigger. One thing I want to say is, if you are playing right, don't go to 1 life. Don't go to 1 life, especially when you don't know if they have a impact card or not. We see him get the shrine as a get trigger. Even in this format, it's unpredictable. So even more so, I say do not go down to 1 life. I would have just taken the double block there, honestly. I mean, the game is pretty much in the right hand's favors, in my opinion. We see him push up the Jogo again. And now he doesn't have the energy to do what he wants to do, right? If you have the Mekumaru there, now you can also push up the Old Man and have 3 bodies in the front, and still be able to play what it is that you want to do. We see him take the neg right here, and he minuses the Nanami and completely screws him even more. Like, honestly, you need at least 4 energy to do what it is you need to do here in this situation. We see him tap 1. He's going to play the 10 Shadows technique, get a draw, and then we're going to see him play the Great Serpent from the trash once again, right? But now it comes into the field unactive because there is no Megumi on the field. So he would have been at least 1-1 right here, or possibly ended the game if he got those early swings in by rotating up earlier. Then we see him drop the my baby Nobara in the front line, and once again, I'm pretty sure he can't do that because Nobara is 4 energy and he's only generating 3. And this is where you screw yourself, bro. If you keep the Mekumaru there, you already have the 4 energy. You could push the Old Man up. You can drop the Nobara in the back or the front as a blocker if you want. And then you could play the other body that you need to generate the 4. So I think they catch on real quick, being like, oh, you actually can't. You actually can't do that. And he quickly corrects his mistake, takes the Nobara back to hand, then plays the Junpei first, and then plays the Nobara. I'm pretty sure he also had, yeah. So then he goes into attacking, swings 4, Bruh's gonna take the blocks now. One, because he has to, but at the same time, he understands that he has the game in his hands because he's been holding on to the boogie woogie this whole time, and he is about to start dancing all over Bruh. I think, does he go for the extra draw just to see? I mean, he knows he has to win certified, but he just wants to make sure he has all the options and answers. So we're gonna probably see him take the extra draw here. Yep. And I didn't even realize Bruh had too many cards in his hand, so he had to discard. He discarded the Shrine, which lets the opponent know there's no Sukuna in hand. Wants to know the cost on the Nobara and how the Nobara's double damage works there. He explains quickly. So we see the extra draw comes in. Don't forget to promote. Don't forget to promote. He never does. He never forgets to promote. That's the one thing he has been excelling this whole entire time. I know I'm glazing. I'm all over his snob right now, and it's crazy. But we see him rotate up the wolves, right? When they swing, they're going to give one of the opponents, one of the characters plus 500. And then we're also going to see him promote a third. Are you going to promote a third body? Not third, a second body. You should. You have the energy too, right? 1, 2, and if you keep, yeah. So promote the Megumi here, in my opinion. That way you can at least swing for 4. Come on. Do the math. You got it, twin. You got it. Yeah, take that back. And there we go. We see him promote the Megumi. Now he's guaranteed to win. He has a lock. He's getting flustered. He's getting antsy, excited because he sees it. He sees the line, ladies and gents and non-binaries. He sees the line. He plays the Mekumaru, right? Now he is back to generating 4 energy. He has exactly what he needs to play the boogie woogie, and he will be targeting. Honestly, I would have targeted the Nobara here with it. He hits the Jogo. The Nobara is the more dangerous opponent because you can tap the extra AP to do double damage. But honestly, it doesn't matter here. You just need to get rid of one of the 4Ks so it can't block out one of the lower bodies. So we see him play the 3-1 Broom Shorty. And he swings, takes it, and it is an infinite void. And the game is done deal. Done deal. And there you have it. That concludes today's video. I want to say thank you so much for the outstanding love you guys have been giving the channel. We are pushing 400 subscribers, and it's crazy to see the growth. It's crazy to see the love and affection that you guys give each other in the comments, as well as me. And I want to say thank you for showing love when you pop up at some of these events that I'm also attending. Now, I'm super excited for Cosmic and some of the other content creators, Atrocious, to get back from the Gundam Secret Invite event that they got this weekend, because as some of you may know, Union Arena is my first love. That's what started this journey. And Gundam, I'm super excited to get into Gundam on this channel as well. And I'm just fiending for new information, more info. That way I can start making content on that as well. I want to say thank you guys once again for stopping by the tea house, and I hope you enjoyed your tea break. We'll catch you on the next one.